Hi, welcome to another week of 10 questions. I didn't think I'd be doing week 3, let alone week 2, and I thought I'd be one and done. But I'm back doing another week. Question number 1. Have defenses finally figured out Colin Kaepernik? Absolutely not. 49ers are struggling, but the same thing could have been said last season when the Patriots started off 1-2 and they ended up rolling out. I think they went 12 and I believe they went 12 and 4. Um, I think San Francisco will get the ball rolling again. They're gonna be fine. They're just dealing with a weak wide receiving core. No Vernon Davis, no Michael Crabtree. Defense hasn't been that stellar as they have been in years past, especially with Aldon Smith now going into rehab. But nobody has figured out Colin Kaepernick. Question number 2. Are you willing to say the Giants are done and aren't making the playoffs? I haven't had them making the playoffs to begin with, but yes, I can say they're done. Especially the way they performed last week. Oh, by the way, thank you, Victor Cruz, for almost costing me my fantasy football matchup. Especially when I didn't have Ray Rice, I'm sorry, especially when my opponent didn't have Ray Rice and Rob Gronkowski playing, but had him in their starting lineup. Um, yeah, their Giants are done, and they're definitely not making the playoffs. Question number 3: which undefeated team will lose next week? Um, I would have to go with Miami, since they're playing at New Orleans. I can see where a lot of people would say New England, but I think New England play has a better chance of beating Atlanta in Atlanta than Miami has a chance at beating New Orleans in New Orleans. Um, but who knows? But Miami would be my pick. Question number 4. If I was the GM of the Tampa Bay Bucs, what would I do to fix the team? Um, what would I do? Number 1, I'd probably drop Josh Freeman like a bad habit. Get him out of the lineup. Probably start Mike Glennon. Then I'd probably fire Greg Schiano, because he seems to be part of the problem too. Although I really do like Greg Schiano, he's a good coach. Um, Other than that, that's pretty much the only two things I would do. Question 5. Who would be tougher to beat in the playoffs at home? The Saints or the Seahawks? The fact that this is an actual question kind of shocks me, because there's only one answer to this, and that's the Seattle Seahawks. It seems like nobody could win there the last 2 years. I know New England went up there and almost pulled it off last year, but Seattle made a great comeback. But definitely the Seahawks would be the tougher team to beat at home in the playoffs. Question number 6. Quite a few playoff teams from last year are 1-2 or worse after week 4. Will these teams bounce back, or are they just victims of the yearly NFL turnover? In the case of San Francisco, Atlanta, and Green Bay, I think they'll be fine. They're definitely going to bounce back. Um, Washington might bounce back. I can't really think of other 1-2 teams that were in the playoffs last year. Man, why am I drawing a blank? I know the Giants didn't make the playoffs. Oh, Minnesota. Duh. Totally forgot they made the playoffs last year. I think they were the one team that is victimized by the yearly NFL turnover. Christian Ponder has been playing like complete garbage. Um, The defense hasn't been great, especially in the fourth quarter, blowing two fourth quarter leads. But yeah, the Vikings are that one team that would be victims of the yearly NFL turnover. Season 7. Question 7. If your city doesn't have an NFL team, would you like them to get the Jags? Um, I don't think a team in Rhode Island would. I don't think a team would fit in Rhode Island. Uh, but plus I've got the Patriots about a half hour away, so no. But I would honestly think LA. I think LA deserves a team. They definitely deserve a team. They've been needing a team for probably the last 20 years or so. Um, Question 8. Would you rather catch a game-winning touchdown pass or throw the game-winning touchdown pass? I've actually had dreams of both, but personally to me, I would like to throw the game-winning touchdown pass instead of catching it, because knowing me, I would be a complete dunce and somehow screw it up by dropping it, or or dropping it, or getting close to the end zone and then getting it stripped out of my hands. But yeah, I would definitely want to win a game by throwing a touchdown. Um, Question number 9. What do you make of the Jets so far? Um, let's see. Last week they played the Bills, and the Bills aren't that great. Week 2 they played a New England team that really hasn't been clicking on cylinders on offense, and Geno Smith turned the ball over like a madman. Um, Week 1 they got lucky with a penalty, but they're 2-1. I think they're gonna drop off because they still gotta play Cincinnati. They still gotta play Baltimore. They still gotta play um New Orleans and Carolina and Atlanta. But yeah, they'll definitely drop off. But so far they've played all right. Question 10. Will trading away Trent Richardson look as bad in hindsight as the Browns trading the Julio Jones pick? Not really. As they proved last week, I don't think they're really tanking this season. I think Brian Hoyer might be the answer to the quarterback problems. They might not be sucking for Teddy Bridgewater or Johnny Manziel or Taj Boyd, but they do have a crapload of draft picks next season, which they would actually make them look good if they draft correctly and do make smart picks with those picks. And finally, there's a bonus question for this week. What was the last movie you saw and rate it out of 10? Um, the last movie I've actually seen on like Netflix or HBO or any of those movie channels was Skyfall, and I'd absolutely give that a 10. But the last movie I seen in theaters was The Wolverine, which I'd have to give a 7. It wasn't that bad, but X-Men movies haven't been great lately. Anyway, that's it for this week. The questions will be in the description below. Uh, like the video if you like it. Comment if you comment on it. Pass it around to all your friends if they're into football. Thank you for watching, and I will definitely see you next week.